No, because they click off if it's not starting. Yeah, take your meds. I think that's fine.
What intro are we going to use today? What's up, everybody?
Hello, all.
Welcome to Recovering Addict. I'm LT, your host. I'm an alcoholic addict. Big
I
time.
am Felice Weaver, your co-host, the wife of an alcoholic addict.
Welcome to Monday. Did everybody make it through their Monday? Got their Sunday night blues out of the way and got their Monday rocking and a rolling? For those of you who went to work, for those of you who didn't, did you all do some chores? What'd y'all get done? Let me get into these comments and say what's up. Oh, you guys like the background? You guys got to thank Brent Fogg for that. He gave us that back. He sent that to, or actually, yeah. I either stole it from him off Facebook or he sent it to me. One of the two. I can't remember. Are we lagging? Are we doing good or what? I see us glitching when I move around.
I think we're good.
Everything looks good? All right. So we got a pretty cool show laid out for you again tonight. Y'all. Mama of Kenny, Lisa D, welcome. How's it going, Mark? Pleasure as always. Raina, welcome. Amber Brooks. Me and my husband, what'd she say? Me and my husband are just trying to get our lives together. Aren't we all? And that's kind of what this show's all about, is trying to get our lives together. And once we start getting them together, it's keeping them together through family recovery, through working on our character defects, through all that good stuff. So you're in the right place, because that's what everybody here is trying to do, is keep our families together, keep our lives together, trying to stay together, try to stay sane in this time of uncertainty. We are learning tools to lean on to get us through it and all that good stuff. Some of us have a longer sobriety date than others. Some of us are just barely getting clean. Some of us are still using, but we're all working together to get better, and we recover better together for sure.
Yes, we do.
Cody, what's up, brother? That was a fun show last night. I enjoyed you and your video and what you got going on and all that good stuff. Let me throw this pin at my kids so they be quiet.
They're just staring.
There, I got their attention. Thanks, Marilyn. That was Brent Fogg. He took that picture. He's out on boats. He does fishing and crab hunting, whatever you want to call it. I don't know nothing about the water, but that's what he does. And I was like, that's a beautiful picture. Can I use that as the background? He was like, please do. And there it is. Hey, James upgraded his keyboard game. Had to go with some wireless tech. The advantages are just out there, man. They are just up there. Holly, welcome. How you doing? Let us know real quick in the comments. Holly's going to come on at the 30 mark and tell us what's going on. We're going to check in with her every night. I don't know if you've seen the show 2 nights ago, but we had Holly on, and she's struggling just like all of us right now. Times of struggle, trying to quit alcohol. She dumped some whiskey down the drain. Last night she came on sober, a little embarrassed, but who wouldn't be? I would. I showed some of my videos last night. I got them in the queue if you guys want to see them again. But she dumped some stuff. She's making strides. She's taking action. We saw Cody clean his house out. He had 39 beers left, and he shot them up with the family. They got rid of it. These guys, everybody's taking action to get sober, and now we're going to stay here and continue to take action. We're going to learn. We're going to go through some of this. Where is it? There it is. Sober living. So we go through this book when we're just hanging out. But tonight we are going to do what we do. We go through the first 24. The book is called 24 Hours a Day. And I've been reading through it at the beginning of the show. We'll hit some coronavirus news, not much, nothing deep, just to go through some of the numbers. And then we'll talk about a little bit of addiction, some stuff that's going on in the news with addicts. And then if you guys remember out there in Louisville, Kentucky, we had those girls that would join us, and they were hanging out right here on the screen.
Yes, that one.
Sierra's from there. So she came and
I quit.
She went back home to be with her family because of the uncertainty. She wasn't getting recovery that she was needing. She was just sitting there going stir crazy. So she decided to leave and come join us here, check in with us and stay with us and recover with us. And if it keeps her sober, then she's definitely made the right choice.
The lighting really accents my double chin.
Which one?
Both of them. All of them.
We just lost our kids, so we got bottom working our ways. Oh, Amber? Yeah.
Dang it.
I feel your pain. I totally empathize with you. Who on Facebook gave us 3 angry faces? Really? We're out here trying to help people and someone's giving us angry faces? I'm sorry you feel that way. I feel bad for you. What's up, John Leatherwood? That's a new face in town. That's a nice beard in town. Look at that thing. Oh, my goodness.
Miss Humphreys, why are you angry?
Yeah, brother. We had to get out. We had to get off. We had to get out of the mountains. It was too cold. We had to get out there near the water. We had to take a trip. So we just, drove real quick. Drove real quick to the mountain or to the beach.
Hey, Raina.
All right. So let's get into some of this stiddly dinkin' coronavirus, COVID-19. Ugh. So it doesn't look like the numbers are going down. Worldwide, we're at 1,341,907. We're up to 74,000 deaths. And in the United States alone, we're at 366,000, and we are over 10,000 deaths. But there's been a lot of recoveries. Total recovery worldwide is 276,259. So now who knows how long this is going to go. And that's why we're here to supplement the AA and NA meetings that are unavailable. There's Zoom, and I highly suggest and motivate you to go to some Zoom meetings. They're pretty cool. And the more you get used to it and figure it out, the funner they get. And then this is a good supplement. We got Nicole that comes on at 6. James comes on at 7. And then I follow it up at 8 o'clock. So that's 3 hours every night of recovery type of content, 3 different personalities, 3 different experiences. And we always have guests. We always have people talking, interacting. People have been sending me video clips. We got a video clip of Merck we're going to show later, what he's been doing with his time. That was really cool. And all that kind of good stuff. So we're here every night at 8 o'clock for the next year, 365 days. We're looking to make 365 live streams in a row, and we are on number 22. But check this out. CNN in the UK, London. It says it's not just toilet paper people are panic buying. Some illegal drug users are reportedly stockpiling their substance of choice as the restrictions intend to stop the spread of coronavirus despite the international supply chain. And the consequences could be devastating, with experts concerned that people will adopt riskier habits, substitute unfamiliar drugs or enter withdrawal, which could be dangerous if unmanaged. Since heavy users often have health problems, this could mean increased strain on service that is already near breaking point. So you got the coronavirus, you got addicts now hoarding illegal drugs, and then possibly relapsing, overdosing, or coming off and going into withdrawal is going to be another weight on the hospitals and ambulances and stuff. So the crime experts told CNN that they're worried of the overgrowing number of reports of shortages and escalating prices for drugs as international borders close and the supply lines are cut off. Not good. So that's pretty much what's going on. And the reason that I even bring that up is because it talks about what was it? Year was it? Let me read this real quick. It says when the UK last experienced a heroin drought, they said they're going to experience a drought now because people are hoarding them and it's not making its way in the border like it was. It's going to happen here in the US. It's going to happen everywhere. But there's going to be a heroin drought. And they said that the last time they experienced a heroin drought was in 2010 and 11. And then the drug's purity at a local dealer level fell by 18%, according to the National Crime Agency. Street prices increased, and there was a reduction in the number of deaths involving heroin and stimulants, but smaller. Increases in death involving methadone. So people are switching drugs. And so the point is, if you're going to think about relapsing in a time like this, you better think and be wise about it, because you don't know what you're going to get. You know, it's not like the drugs are freely coming in like they were before. You had a little bit more. I mean, even then you couldn't really trust what you were putting in your mouth, arms, nose, you know. But now people are going to start ODing on all kinds because they don't know what's in it. They're going to start cutting these drugs, and you're not going to get the drug that you think you're getting, and it could kill you. So in these times of stress and anxiety, if you feel like using, just remember it could really possibly kill you. Not just because you haven't done it for a minute, but because you don't know what you're going to get. It's very, very risky right now. Very risky. My goodness. Good drought the dope out. I agree, Mark. I hope it all goes away. Probably work better than the war on drugs. Yeah, definitely would. Remember that? Hey, Nancy Reagan. All right, so let me get through these thoughts of the day, and we'll introduce Sierra, and we'll have her come on the show and tell us all about herself.
Raina, you can call me Fecky anytime you want.
She called you Becky?
Fecky.
Oh.
Call me whatever you want.
All right. Lisa, Real Spill, welcome. Raymond, right on. Hey, no worries, brother. We're all just chilling and hanging out and having a good time. So check this out. I read this thought of the day earlier, and wow, it's a good one. It says alcoholics have personality problems. And you can just put drugs right there too. Drug addicts and alcoholics are really not much different. So alcoholics have a personality problem. They drink to escape from life. They counteract feelings of loneliness and inferiority, or because of some emotional conflict within them, that means they cannot adjust themselves to life. Alcoholics cannot stop drinking unless they find a way to solve their personality problems. That's why going on the wagon doesn't solve anything. That's why taking the pledge usually doesn't work. Was my personality problem ever solved by going on the wagon or taking the pledge? So you decide you're going to quit drinking. And we've said this before. It's the dry drunk syndrome. You have alcoholism. You remove the alcohol, you're left with the ism. And that is what we've been learning here in Staying Sober. And that's what, once you get into the 12 steps, you start figuring out, wow, this is more than just getting rid of the alcohol or drugs. It's about what's going up here in my brain, about my character defects. How am I going to handle certain situations that come in my life and come out okay on the other side? Am I going to stress out and bounce? You know what I mean? Am I going to stress out, freak out? Am I going to go into self-pity parties? And how do you overcome that type of stuff about yourself? How do you go into a social setting and with confidence before you didn't have the self-esteem to be confident? How do you have fun without being high or drunk? And you have to learn all this stuff. And that's what this book's teaching us. It's teaching us that we are walking up a down escalator. And as soon as we start moving, we go down. And when we hit the bottom, that's when we relapse with alcohol and drugs. But the relapse actually starts up here when those character defects make us stop moving in that forward direction. So that's what we're here to teach. That's what we're here. That's what I'm here to learn. And I think the whole world could learn it because everybody's got these problems. And I said this before a million times, and I'll keep saying it again. The normal people out there that don't know nothing about drugs and haven't had to come off of them and learn the skills that we've had to rely on don't have the advantage that we have right now in this crisis. We have the tools to learn how to take it one day at a time, to learn how to manage our stress, to learn how to reach out and talk about how we feel and to help each other and connect. You know what I mean? So good on us. So the meditation of the day, it says, God illuminates your life with the warmth of his spirit. You must open up like a flower to this divine illumination. Loosen your hold on earth. It cares and it worries. Unclasp your hold on material things. Relax your grip, and the tide of peace and serenity will flow. Relinquish every material thing and receive it back again from God. Do not hold on to earth's treasures so firmly that your hands are too occupied to clasp God's hands as he holds them out to you in love. And the prayer of the day is, I pray that I may be open to receive God's blessings. I pray that I will be willing to relinquish my hold on the material things and receive them back from God. Amen.
Amen.
Those are good thoughts, man. This is a really good book. I think it was Brent Fogg that hooked me up with this book too. He was like, check this book out. I was like, well, I'm going to read that at the beginning. And at the end of the show's not over until we say the Serenity Prayer. So we'll read either AA's just for today, or we'll read the daily reflections out of the AA side of things. Then we'll say the Serenity Prayer, and then we'll peace out. But until then, the show's not over. So what are we at? 8:13. So here's the plan. We're going to talk about Sierra. She's from Louisville. She was in the Sober Girls house. And pull her on. I'm just going to open mic night at 4, let her tell her story of her struggle, her relationship with her boyfriend, Brent, and let them tell you what they struggle with and their hope and how they've beaten addiction and how they're recovering right here along with us. Some have months, some have days, some have years, and we're all here together.
Yes, we miss you too, Diana.
Where is she? Is she on the comments?
She misses us.
Aw.
And
there she is.
And Merd likes your shirt.
I knew it. When I bought this shirt, Merd, I told Felice, I was like, watch, Merk's going to like this one.
No, Merd.
Oh, Merd?
Red Rum.
Oh.
Red Rum loves your shirt.
I didn't see that coming. I thought Merk would have been the first one to say it. But Merd, I feel you, brother.
And welcome, Christine. I didn't see you earlier.
We miss you too, Diana. For shizzle.
Here, this.
Yeah, chuck some love. Chuck some love. Oh yeah, and we're also introducing a new little character to our live stream, and I'll let that just be a little bit of a surprise. But she's going to start popping on nightly, and I think we're going to do it about 8:35, 8:45 ish. Make it a regular scheduled event and push play, and get a good motivational thought, 10, 15 second, 30-second clip to bring us some joy, happiness, and motivate us to move on to the rest of the day. But without any further ado, let's bring on Sierra and her boyfriend Brent. What?
Hey, it's my husband.
Oh,
Yes, we're very married.
No longer
Okay.
Lopez.
No,
I
that's
still
what I
think we're cousins, but whatever.
So, we have suffered. I have suffered with addiction for probably the best of 16 years. And when we met each other, we were in the madness, 100%. Relationship didn't start out that great at all, really. We about a year ago, we lost our daughter. CPS got involved, that kind of thing. So I went to treatment. He went to treatment, and we were sober together for a while. And you know, being in a relationship and bringing drugs and alcohol into it is never really a good thing, you know. I mean, the struggles that we've been through, we've lost 2 houses, numerous cars, motorcycles. I mean, you name it, including, you know, our daughter. And it's not staying clean, getting clean and staying clean is also a struggle, you know. Um, we got sober together, and I feel like that was probably like the best time, you know, in our relationship. And I guess he went back out, and it wasn't long after that that I went right behind him, you know. So
Can we back up a little bit and kind
yeah.
of start from what got you both into addiction? What age did you start using? I mean, I share the same story. I'm sure we were very young and started
Yeah,
experimenting, but
I
what
started
age did you
using
start just like going off the hook? Or
um
how did that all evolve? How did you get sucked into that cycle?
well, I started using about 14. You know, I was really young and was in a domestic relationship. There was a lot of violence around there, things I probably shouldn't have been exposed to at that age. My stepfather actually introduced me to crack cocaine. Great. And yeah, it just escalated from there. I was a straight A student, modeling, you know, had the whole world going for me. And unfortunately, you know, I got in a really bad relationship around that time and started losing confidence and, you know, just went head first into drugs and alcohol. I guess around probably 17, 18, I started selling drugs, a lot of drugs. And about 20, I started dancing. I danced for 13 and a half years. If you can only imagine what that was like, as far as the drugs and alcohol consumption during those years. And yeah, that's how it started for me. You?
Um, for me, it was straight out of high school. I didn't really do a whole lot of drugs going through school, high school, middle school, high school, stuff like that. Coming up from a good family, I guess. My mom and dad were divorced. That was a little bit rough at like 11 or 12. They divorced. So, but I never really dealt with it and had any hard issues from that. But I'd say when I got out of high school, I was attracted to the hustle. I was attracted to the money and the the fast life of living and partying, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, I always worked. I worked my ass off for a very long time, up till I was 36 years old, 37 years old. Made a lot of money legally, but I always was attracted to the lifestyle in the streets. I didn't really start using hard drugs. Cocaine was probably the first hard drug I used. I was probably 19, 20 years old. Then it was just kind of random after that for the next 5 years, I guess. And then I'd say by the time I was 25 to, I don't know, my late 20s, I probably started doing what was crank or what was doing, whatever. And that's, that kind of grew from there, just, over time. And I'd still say I'm still kind of probably about the same situation. I don't, my daily drug use it's more I feel like I'm more attracted to the lifestyle. That's really nothing now, but at one time it was everything to me,
Yeah.
So that's kind of my story in a quick sum up.
So what's your guys' sobriety dates right now?
Well, my sobriety date is March the 12th, 2020. And what are you, 3 days in now?
Yeah.
3 days in. So what's that?
Fourth.
The third.
Third.
4/3, 2020.
Ever since she come home, I've been clean sober.
So when did you check yourself into that rehab, Sierra?
I went in there on the 11th. Like I said, I graduated that program in October. I stayed sober for about 2 months. And then he went back out, and it wasn't long before I went back, back out with him. And I knew I had to make a change. I checked myself back in there. I had no contact with him whatsoever for the entire time I was there. I made that decision, which was, I know, hard on both of us, but not to just to ensure myself that extra cushion of, no, what's the word I'm looking for? I didn't want to be tempted, to walk out that door. I wanted to get sober. I've had a lot of sobriety under my belt previously. I'm well educated and in recovery, and I just needed that break. And like I said, I wasn't getting much out of the program. It's a great program. I advocate hard for them. They just can't, they're just not able to do, what they're doing, what they can right now, due to circumstances. And I'm not able to utilize my sponsor like I wanted to. My sponsor, thank heaven for her. She's got a PhD. She's licensed. She's a what do you call it? A recovering counselor. She's awesome, well known in the community around here, and I just felt like I could get more with my sponsor. I've got the psychiatrist on my side now. It just wasn't. I was stagnant. I was just sitting there, and I would rather walk out with my head strong, sober with a plan versus continue to sit there and then, end up pushing that effort button and saying, okay, and running out the door, on self and picking up and using.
Yeah.
So I didn't call my husband until I got home and said, hey, this is what it is. He met with me and said, well, if you're done, I'm done. And, he hasn't picked up since I've been home. So I think that's awesome. Like, I guess we know what happened last time. And I know that he knows that I'm not, if, we got to do it together. Or it's not
That
gonna
last time, are you talking just like less than 6 months ago, or?
6 months ago, yeah, we were both sober, and everything was good. And he went back out, and it wasn't a month later. I followed,
So let's walk through that last time, and then let's talk about this time, and see if we can find any loopholes or back doors that might be open. So
All right,
what
let's do
happened
it.
last time, and how did you relapse and go down that, and then I'll just the whole thing.
Last time we've had a lot of CPS issues with as far as our daughter goes.
Yeah.
I had to subpoena the courts and this and that to get any type of rights or whatnot to our daughter. It happened to be on my birthday, and I will say this: it's
The judge beat him down, basically. I mean, she beat him down, and I knew that was going to happen. And you can be prepared for that, but until you're faced with that and have to deal with that, I mean, I can only imagine, what that would feel like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you, James, for the audio correction.
I'd been clean for 2.5 months, and then I went into court, and the judge just didn't. She just didn't want me to have a chance with my little girl, and I had our daughter, from the time she was born till she had done some jail time, she got locked up and this and that. I had her for several weeks after that, and then CPS kind of found me and took her from me, and this little girl was A1 with me. Her mom had to get mad about it, but she was 100%, my little girl, my baby.
So CPS took your little girl. And then that kind of just triggered you and threw you into probably anger, I'm sure, self-destructive anger, and you decided to go and use.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Yeah, it kind of leaves you.
Oh, I feel you, dude. I know totally. And the Sierra, you guys were together at the time, living together.
Yeah.
And an addict can only be around an addict so long before they use, right? The whole barbershop thing.
Right. So, I was around him, and I maintained for a good month and a half, but with one person using and the other person not, the arguments escalate, the resentments build, and, fighting and arguing. Drugs and marriage do not go together at all. Like,
No.
period. It's a recipe for destruction. Nobody's happy. Like, whether he's miserable, I'm miserable, it's just, so things just escalated. And then eventually, I mean, the pain got to where I was like, screw it. And boom, if I can't beat you, I'm going to join you. And then it just escalated from there. And from there, I mean, we just became 100% toxic. And then I had to do something.
Okay.
So I just removed myself from the situation, went where I know, where I'm safe, where I knew these people had my back and they loved me, cared about me genuinely. And like I said, I just kept no contact the entire time I was there, and got my mental together and came home.
Awesome. So I'm going to make that a little cliffhanger there for a second. So 6 months ago, daughter taken away, relapsed, you joined, and then you guys started going off the hook and getting high again.
Yeah.
But I'm going to pause right there because we have our special check-in guest from 3 days in a row. This is the third day. So we're going to bring Holly on, see how she's doing, and if she's sticking with what she said in the plan.
Yay.
What up, Holly?
Hey, Holly.
Well, first of all, you are such an inspiration. Doing that together, I can't imagine. But you're 100% right. It has no place in a marriage, in a relationship. It's toxic. It ruins every aspect of your life. And I'm living that now, so I get it too. But congratulations, I wanted to say that.
Thank you.
I'm sober. I had a horrible headache all day. I did not sleep very well last night. I woke up with night sweats, and so I'm definitely feeling it. But I'm hanging in there. I did not come on tonight because I just wanted to kind of curl up and go to bed and in my misery. Aaron kind of messaged me and kind of encouraged me a little bit. So if everybody else can do it, I can do it. And
hey, good job. Thank you, Aaron. That's exactly what you needed. And I'm glad you decided to actually force yourself to do something you didn't want to do, because that's what it takes. That's when you would have started possibly going backwards. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you this real fast. I had to go run some essential errands today, and I had to go by the ABC store twice. That is the hardest thing. Like, it's so much easier just to stop. It's just easier to stop and to give in, because then you don't have to feel like this the whole day. But I didn't, and I'm doing the best I can.
Well, everybody in the comments is right now just cheering. Look at this. So, hey, Holly.
I was just in my 10 minutes ago. I'm like, gosh, I got to go on live. I got to at least start on. So that's how convinced I wasn't going to do it tonight. I'm like, I just don't. When you're going through withdrawals or detox or whatever you want to refer to it as, you don't feel good. You're just not 100%. Thank you, Aiden. I love her so much. But I'm getting there. It's nothing that Motrin won't fix, and I believe too it has a lot to do with the sugar craving. My body's just going through a lot right now. It's just kind of, it's missing.
Like I said before, if the cravings start getting out of hand, I'm serious. Go to Go somewhere and grab the biggest milkshake you can find and slam that thing, because all the sugar that Fireball has, oh my goodness, it'll save your life. I'm telling you the truth right there.
And
he had lots of chocolate.
just about to get to So it's definitely the sugar aspect of things. And it's like I told you, I've put on 60 pounds in like a year from
Yeah.
this. I mean, it just packed on. It seemed like overnight. And it's destroyed everything in my life. So I'm going to eat all tonight. That I am going to do.
Good. Do it.
Yes.
We're really proud of you, and thank you for the courage for checking in. Gave us inspiration, and I know it's going to help you through the night. Like we said, it's 8:30, 9:30, it's 11:30 where you're at.
Yeah.
2 hours. Only worry about the next 2 hours. Don't worry about tomorrow.
Well, I'm gonna tell you guys, I appreciate it. I love you all. I'm so proud of everybody who's been through this. I don't care if it's 30 years or 3 hours. It's hard and you need support. And I love you all and I appreciate it. And congratulations to you too. And
Thank you. We love you too. And you got this 1 minute, 1 second, 1 day at a time.
I am a strong girl, so I know I have my mind set on something. It's just getting through these crappy feeling days and just
This too shall pass.
Yes.
Right. Well, I love you. Thank you so much, and I will be sober again tomorrow.
All right. Same time. We'll see you tomorrow.
Can't wait.
All right. Good night.
You too. Good night.
Holly.
That's
Awesome.
inspiring. Isn't that awesome? I don't know.
Yes.
Did you catch the 2 days ago when she dumped it out in the sink and all that stuff?
No, I missed it.
It was
I
pretty
totally
cool.
missed it.
So
That is so awesome, though.
our commitment to her has been she's going to come on the show every night about 8:30ish and just poke her head on, show us she's sober. We're going to hold her accountable and vice versa. You know, the whole coronavirus thing's got everybody locked up.
Yes.
And so we're doing what we can. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we
so-
want to say thank you for having us on here. And like I said, man, it's not easy, but I mean, it's better this way.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
so where
better
were
this
we
way.
with you? You guys relapsed. Daughter's taken away. You guys relapsed, and now you are not happy anymore. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. So you're about to check yourself into a rehab,
Yeah.
and this is in October.
No, this was just recently, a month ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's see. I left rehab, stayed sober for 2 months, and then 2 months after that. So October, so November, December, stayed sober. January, February, I went hard. Like probably the hardest that I've ever gone. I don't know if it was because I saw how happy we were sober, and I just took I just took it when he went back out. It was a major disappointment. And I just slowly saw everything that we had built up, because our relationship started terrible. I mean, horrible. And I mean, if there's a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, that's that, you know? And so, to see this other side of him that I had never seen before, and, to have so much hope for, our marriage in the future, and then to see that slowly dissipate and go away. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I was devastated. Heartbroken, really. And so when I picked up, I went hard. So I finally made the decision that, our daughter's still in foster care. I still have a chance to get her back. I've got to somehow pull up out of this and make something happen. And I know that he loves me and he don't want to lose me, and I don't want to lose him either. So I chose to break all contact, go do what I had to do. And like I said, I made the decision to come home. I didn't call him and tell him I was coming home. None of that. And just came, and I didn't even have to say the words. He just said, you're doing the right thing. I'm proud of you, and I'm done. And so far, so good. But I'm also willing to, if he decides that he's gonna go back out, I'm willing to make that sacrifice of saying,
You're drawing boundaries.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah,
You know?
boundaries is a necessity because you're responsible for your addiction. He's responsible for his addiction.
Absolutely.
And if you want to press forward and recover, you have to draw a boundary and don't cross that line. She ended up having to draw boundaries with me.
Right.
And that was one of the huge things that helped me finally quit drinking alcohol,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like, you know, he'll agree that, you know, those were the best times in our relationship was sober. We didn't have a dime one, just lost everything we had and was on top of the world. Like you couldn't tell us nothing. And then to lose that, you know, I feel like this time apart has, you know, put that into perspective that, you know, this is a reality and this is our life that we're playing with. And if we want it, we'll do it. If we don't, we won't, you know.
Yeah. Jails, institutions, or death is all we have to look forward to.
Absolutely.
And we're all in that later stage of addiction and drugs where it's not fun anymore. It's just
not.
it becomes a hassle and it ends in heartache.
It's
you know.
not. It's slow torture.
Okay, so what do you have? What is your plan right now? Like the next few days? I don't know if you're working or nothing like that, but what's your plan for his triggers and what's his plan for your triggers? You're like holding each other accountable, and then what are you doing to educate yourself? And I know you're coming to us and we're talking to you throughout the day through email and stuff. Is there anything else you're doing? Do you have a sponsor? Or are you?
I utilize my sponsor. I call my sponsor every day for anything, everything. He does not yet have a sponsor, but we'll work on that. I mean, we know a lot of strong people in recovery. The last couple of days, we've just jumped on the bike and just rode. You know, it's been beautiful outside.
Yeah.
Just trying to, you know, reconnect and, you know, stay away from all the negativity and anybody that's using and just, you know, get back to us really. That's where we're at.
That's awesome.
So
Well, we're proud of you and we're rooting for you.
sunshine and fresh air is where it's at right now. And no people.
So
No corona.
no way.
We're all going to be zombies.
Do you guys have legal battles ahead of you?
None. No.
Oh, that's good.
No.
So you got pretty much a clean start. I shared a thing on our private Facebook page. I should read it. But the world has basically come to a stop, and it's given everybody a chance to start their lives over fresh and new, to do something they've never wanted or they've never had the time to do. We have the time now.
Yeah, we do.
And so we're all it's a great opportunity if we look at it that way. We take it one day at a time, and we keep sticking together too as well.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know what it'll take to get your daughter back?
Yes. I just need to stay the course. Clean screens, maintain employment, housing, and just, you know, so that I can live life on life. I go back to court May 20th if that court date hasn't been pushed back, and just pray for the best. You know, I've talked to my CPS worker. I told her that I left. At first she was kind of hesitant, and then I, you know, went into more detail as to why and where I felt I was at in my recovery, and just told her, you know, I would rather walk out with a plan than to just sit and you know, walk out on another note. And have an opportunity between now and court. And if it gets pushed back, great. That's even more time for me to prove myself. I got out of treatment last time. I was sober for 2 months, and then I basically disappeared for 2 months.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then I checked myself back into rehab. I would hate to walk back out and then go to court and say, hey, well, what can you do for your daughter? Well, still nothing, you know, like just, you know, I have an opportunity now to secure employment. Believe it or not, everybody's hiring. And, you know, just show, I feel like I have a better opportunity to show that I can life.
Amen. That's
Live life
awesome.
on life. And I feel like I need to give myself the opportunity to prove that versus, you know, sitting and complacent and coming up with another excuse in a few months and not have had that opportunity, you know, and set myself even that far back, you know.
Yeah.
Make up for my mistakes, you know what I mean? So that's the plan.
Awesome.
That's a good plan.
How you
guys
feeling
have a
about this whole
beautiful
thing,
family.
Brent?
You know, like it's equals to what she just said. You know, it's just been like her being gone and me. I don't know, me and the whole thing with our daughter. It's like you just get lost and lonely sometimes. You get I don't know. That's the best way I can put it. As far as work, I'm getting back to work right now. I'm just kind of just started working for somebody just as of yesterday. So, I mean, it's just going to be a slow growth, I guess. We need to make it as fast as possible for our daughter's sake. But, like she said, when we was 6 months ago, when we was going through Centerstone and here in Louisville and this and that, we went from being part of the hustle game, part of the dope game, and we went to all of a sudden not having a penny, but that was the best time of our life. That was the best time of our relationship. And I'll never forget that. I'm ready to go through it again for real.
Are you withdrawn right now, or you over that part?
I can't say I really withdraw. But I mean, just for me, it was
Meth.
yeah.
Wow, sleepy time. Yeah. Okay.
But other than that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. When I withdrew off of meth, I slept for. It had to be 3 weeks. I was in. Yeah, I got sleepy tattooed right here because when I was in jail, they started calling me Sleepy.
Normally yeah. If I was to get locked up or something, I go to jail. I'm sleeping. I'm gonna sleep first week I'm there. You know what I mean? or times like when I went through Centerstone, I slept for the first 3 or 4 days there. But since she's home, it's like I'm trying to do her schedule because she's sticking to her schedule and sticking.
That's
so
another thing I'm doing to maintain.
I'm trying to push some of this stuff off, push the sleep part of it off a little bit, and trying to just do whatever she needs to be doing, and therefore I need to be doing the same things too. Like being here right now, it's pretty neat, pretty interesting.
We're proud of you too, man.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, you guys want to commit to checking in with us once or twice a week, and we'll just pop you on like Holly does, and pop in for 5 minutes, let us know how things are going, and
Absolutely.
okay, yeah,
Hold us accountable. We need that.
yeah, we all do, and this is the best way we can do it right now, and I think it's highly advisable.
I think it's great. I think it's awesome. So keep it up.
Okay, we will.
Thank you.
too.
And Holly says your
You guys have
daughter
been
is going to
great.
be so proud of you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll pull you on. If you guys want to check in tomorrow, I'll send you the link.
All right.
And if you want to, I'll just send it to you every day, and just plan on at least twice a week popping in for 5-10 minutes around the 8:30 mark. And
All right.
we'll start making that our little accountability time for people to pop in, say hello, and give us a thumbs up and move on.
We're in.
Yeah, we love hearing from everybody.
Sure.
It's awesome.
Cool.
Yes,
All right.
we're in. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good night,
Yeah.
y'all.
Okay. Good night.
Night,
Thank you.
Cousin.
Oh, that was cool. That's inspiring. They're onto the right thing. I can feel that guy's pain though, coming off of meth, man. That stuff takes you a while to, when you're up for a long time and your heart's racing that fast for that long, there's some consequences to it. Big time consequences to it. On that note, somebody's got a little message for us.
Hey guys, I'm here with today's motivational quote of the day here on Recovering Addict. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I'm telling you it's going to be worth it. Spread that love.
That's for you, Sierra. That's for everybody in the comments. That's for Amber, what you guys are going through. Cody, what you're going through. I understand how many days you got. Veronica. And every one of us is struggling and battling right now. And just like Cassie said, it's not going to be easy, because that's the truth, but it's going to be worth it. And that's love from her. And we thank you so much for it. And she's right here in the comments if you guys want to give her a shout out. She knows exactly what's going on. She's been there. She's done that. She's been affected by it. She's right here with us, y'all. And I'm so proud to call her cousin.
We love you.
And also, we have a little cool treat for you, is that Merc. Remember, I've been saying, shoot it to my email. Here's my email. Let me show you. Bam, recoveringaddict8@gmail.com. You guys send me some clips. Send me motivational clips like Cassie did. You can just show up and say, hey, guys, I'm sober. Look at me go. Any type of thing you want. And send it to me. I'll throw it up, put a little music on it, and I'll share it with everybody else. But here's what Merc shared with me the other day. Check it out.
So LT wants to know, what do we do when we're stuck in quarantine? My answer is anything not being inside. Make and stack lots of wood. Check. Fix brakes. Check. Fix other brakes. Check.
That's awesome. Mark, you got a radio voice, man. You should like do a podcast or something. You got that great voice. Awesome. That was cool. Veronica, how you doing? I know we've been talking. Everybody, Veronica's doing good. What is today? Day 20 for you, I believe. Veronica on day 20. But I do want to read a chunk out of this book because if we don't keep pressing through it, we're never going to get to the end of it. And yesterday we ended on education. Remember that? I must learn about the process of relapse and how to prevent it. And that's what we're doing. If we don't continually learn, we're not going to have the tools to succeed. So let's look at warning sign identification. We'll read this paragraph. We'll talk a little bit more in the comments. We'll say our prayers and read our stuff. And
My hoops got.
oh, she got her hoops on tonight.
Yeah, I wore them for Sierra. See?
That's
Just for
awesome.
It's because we're cousins.
What does that mean? Dope drugs? Heck no, we don't. Absolutely not. There's Mark. I need to buckle down and do the dang thing. Yeah. Busting out some Sober James comments. Tony says you're beautiful.
Oh, it's the hoops.
Holly says, go Veronica. Mark said that was great. Yeah, that was great. Thank you, Mark, for that video. Every time I get a little something in the email from you guys, it just, it instantly brightens my day. And I'm like, honey, come look at this. I get so excited. Love them. She loves your hoops. Antonio, thanks, bro. All right, check it out. Relapse warning sign identification. Every person has a unique set of personal warning signs that indicate that the process of relapse is occurring. Everybody. We did read this last night, but we're going to read it again. These are signals you give to yourself and to others that you are in danger of alcohol or drug or of developing some other relapse symptoms. Relapse warning sign identification is the process of identifying the problems and symptoms that can lead you to relapse. Problems may be situations outside yourself or within. Symptoms may be health problems, thinking problems, emotional problems, memory problems, or problems with judgment and appropriate behavior. It is necessary to develop a list of personal warning signs or indications that you may be in danger. These warnings, the warning sign list should be developed from past relapse experience. From the list of warning signs, select about 5 that you believe apply to you. Put these into your own words and write a statement about each one that describes your own experience with this warning sign. You should develop a list of clear and specific indicators that you are moving away from productive and comfortable living and beginning to move towards relapse. You guys, it's quarantine time right now. We're all locked up. We've been talking about you need to put as much energy into your sobriety as you put into your addiction. So if you don't heed the words of this book right now, I'm serious, do this. You guys got time. It'll only take you 5-10 minutes. Grab a pen and do this for yourself personally. You don't even have to show anybody, but do it for yourself personally so that you are working on your recovery and that you are walking up that down escalator. Grab a pen and write a list of warning signs. And there's those 37 warning signs we went through. And if you need to go back and look at them, go to the Facebook page. I listed all 37 warning signs. Grab 5 of those warning signs that apply to you. Say, oh, that applies to me, that applies to me, that applies to me. And then detail how it applies to you so that you know what to look for as soon as you're done. And put it on a sticky note and stick it to the fridge. And then that's going to help you battle your addiction throughout this coronavirus epidemic, this solo isolation. Maybe you lost a job. I don't know what you're going through. I know what we're going through. And it's stressful. We got things just aren't like they were before, period. And change rattles anybody, and I don't care who you are. Diana says, you're beautiful.
Thanks, Diana. So are you.
So can I get a commitment out of y'all that you're going to go and do that? So tomorrow when you come and throw it in the comments, you're going to say, I made a list of 5 of my highest warning signs that pertain to me, and I'm going to work on them. I'm going to work on them the rest of this week because we got all the way till Friday. Okay, it's one day at a time, but we do have to plan for the future. And I think that is a way to do it. Corey says, Schmiegel.
I know who Schmiegel is.
Schmiegel.
You know who Schmiegel is?
That,
My precious.
oh, yeah. I couldn't get into the Lord of the Rings. I couldn't get into Harry Potter. I like Tool, and
That's all he likes.
that's about it.
That's it.
Hey, no Gabi Leviosa?
What?
Alicia would be so proud of you right now.
No, it's them guy
So,
Leviosa.
John, you're a new face in town. To start judging others. Oh, this guy's actually going to talk to us about it right now. See, he's already ahead of the game with his recovery. I start judging others, especially at meetings. I start comparing out instead of finding things I have in common with other addicts. Oh, yeah, man. That was our meditation yesterday that we read. And it was about finding out how to identify with their personalities, because it's personalities, principles before personalities, right? Not everybody's going to like us, and we're not going to like everybody. But at the end of the day, exactly what John just said. What did it say? God is the great interpreter of one human personality to another. Even personalities who are the nearest together have much in their natures that remains a sealed book to each other. And only as God enters and controls their lives are the mysteries of each revealed to the other. Each personality is so different, God alone understands perfectly the language of each and can interpret between the two. And here we find the miracles of change and the true interpretation of life. And that's how we connect. We got to get through those personalities, because I know that Sober James talks about this. He goes to AA meetings and he enjoys and sits and hanging out with little old ladies that crochet. You know what I mean? The personality types and what you got in common all differ, but hey, it's good. It's good that we're here. So welcome, John. So did you tell us how long you were clean? Did I miss the comment? Sometimes I miss these comments. I don't know what's going on.
I didn't know this.
I didn't either. How long have you been clean? What was your drug of choice and all that kind of stuff? And welcome to the show. And if you guys want to help us out, remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Share these videos with people who you think could help, who would benefit in coming to our community as support. Not just somebody that needs us and needs you guys, but somebody that can actually offer their strength and support. And the newcomer is that person. Because when we see the newcomer that needs the help and the strength, that lifts us up to help, that gets us out of ourselves, because we think the world revolves around us. And once we start putting our thoughts and efforts into somebody else, we recover. And I think it's a good thing. Holly said, hey, John. That's beautiful, bro. 8 months. He's a boozer. All right. I was a boozer too, bro. I had to check myself into a detox place because I was drinking fifths a night and gallons on the weekend type of thing. And then I did 5 months in an intense outpatient for alcohol. And it was no joke. It's not easy. It's not easy now. I relapsed at 47 days. I didn't have a huge relapse where I went off the end of the world. My addict mind tricked me back into thinking, I could have just a little and drink normal and sparingly. So I bought a half a pint, it's about 3 shots worth, my type of shots, 3 shots worth. And I drank them. Nothing happened. I woke up with a little bit of a headache, but it was my addict talking me into it. And I got beat up by my group. I got beat up by the counselor, and the counselor finally just laid it out logically for me. And I felt so stupid afterward. He's all, so you have a drinking problem, right? You came to rehab because you have a drinking problem. And now you're going to show yourself you don't have a drinking problem by drinking. He goes, that makes sense. And after I was just like, oh gosh, I'm so stupid. But that's the addict mind. We buy the lies of that addict mind that talks in our own voice. So if you hear that little addict voice talking, be warning, because the relapse started happening just a little bit before that, because it happens in your subconscious. You stop moving up that escalator that's moving down without realizing it. And that's what you have. That's why I said, go grab a pen, write these warning signs down so that we can get more in depth in our own personal lives. When nobody's looking, that's when you're battling. When nobody's around and nobody's watching you and nobody's looking at what you're doing, there lies the battle. We can hold you accountable. We can all come face to face and put on our fake smiles. But at the end of the day, if you are by yourself, what are you doing for yourself in your recovery? Are you taking care of yourself at that moment? Because that's when it's the hardest to do. That's when we want to be the most lazy. Like, I'll just sit and watch TV or, neglect whatever. And we can't neglect We can't neglect our recovery because that's when we fail. He's got 41 days today. Nice, brother. Baltimore. Just out of inpatient treatment. Sweet. Wednesday is the first drug of choices, heroin. Ooh, that's a tough one, bro. That's a tough one. I never experienced the heroin. I did the meth in the early 2000s, went to jail, 1 to 15, committed a felony, all that good stuff. And then later in life became a raging alcoholic because I didn't realize I was an addict. I was like, oh yeah, I did have a drug problem once, and I had no idea that I was an alcoholic addict. And alcohol took me straight to the hospital. So I've been to the institutions, I've been to the hospital. Next thing is death. So I got to stay away from it. Hey, Amber, put her on our prayer list. She's struggling with pretty much the same thing Sierra and them are. So we're going to put you on a prayer list. I pray through this every night. We don't make it as a family every night just because sometimes it gets chaotic, but we try to most nights together as a family pray over this list for you guys. Cunning, baffling, and powerful. Cunning, and that's so baffling, and it's so powerful. Dude, exactly. The addict mind is something else. I have to tell it to shut up. Yeah, me too. And it's not just, and the addict mind, we can't get it confused. Like the addict mind isn't just talking you into drinking or talking you into using. It's talking you into criticizing people. It's talking you into being impatient. It's talking into raising your stress levels. It's talking to you and telling you that you're not worthy, that you're ugly, that you're not good enough, that don't say that because you're going to look stupid. All those self-doubts, and that's your addict mind. Oh, you can't accomplish anything. Nobody's going to like you. That's your addict mind speaking. And and if you get a rise above that, it's going to take another layer because it takes layers to get us down into that part where we give up and finally go back to the alcohol and drugs. And it doesn't matter. That addict mind is going to tell whatever layer it needs to tell to get to that second layer. And then it's going to eat at that second layer and it's going to go to the third. And then finally, by the time if you don't stop it, and then you're going to end up back on the streets, you're going to end up back at the liquor store, you're going to end up jails, institutions, or death. That's the only outcome.
I just know something.
What, Linky?
Alcohol can jump up on you like booze.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm digging that one, man. The One Ring is just like addiction. It's so beautiful and precious, yeah. But when it gets a hold of you, it's poison. Yep. Dude, sunken in eyes, neglecting your health, no showers, you're not eating right, you're not exercising, you're lying, you're stealing.
Oh yeah, Schmiegel definitely did.
Nothing good comes from the crap, man. So the moderate drinker, we wish we could be you because it's not me. Man, there are so many struggles I wrestle with in this world, but the greatest battle I fight is within my own mind and my own heart. We are our own worst enemies. Is that you, Mark?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Sounds like some Mark would say. I joined online exercise program. I need more accountability and more to keep my mind busy. Yeah, that's funny. We're teleworking, so I'm at work, right? I'm sitting at my computer, and all of a sudden I hear, I'm like, what in the world is that? I look over, and Link's doing like crunches, and he's doing these sidestep things. I'm like, what are you doing? And he's on our laptop, and he's like, I'm at PE. And he's sitting there doing an online workout class. I was like, look at that. It was pretty cool. This new tech, I'm digging the new world. I'm digging it. I'd like technology. So the more I can learn about technology, I got a new little gadget today that's going to help us out here on the show. Can't wait to figure out how to use that guy. It'll make the stream a little bit more smooth, a little more easy. AA? No, let's do NA. I like just for today's better, man. I think I'm digging the just for today's more. Ooh, growing honesty. Yeah, of course I like this one. So on a practical level, changes occur because what appropriate to no phase of recovery may not be for another. Let me read that again. On a practical level, changes occur because what's appropriate to one phase of recovery may not be for another. When we first came to Narcotics Anonymous, many of us had no legitimate occupation. Not all of us suddenly decided we were going to become honest and productive model citizens the moment we arrive in NA. But we soon find in recovery that we are not so comfortable doing many of the things we once did without a second thought when we were using. As we grow in our recovery, we begin to be honest in matters that probably hadn't bothered us when we used. We start returning extra change at the cashier have given us by mistake, or admitting we were hit at a parked, or admitting when we hit a parked car. We find that we can begin to be honest in all the small ways. The bigger test of our honesty becomes much easier to handle. Yeah, if you're honest in the little things, it's easier to be honest in the big things. But like I said before, when nobody's watching you, that's who you are. That's your character. Many of us came here with very little capacity to be honest, but we find that as we work the 12 steps, our lives begin to change. We are no longer comfortable when we benefit at the expense of others, and we can feel good about our newfound honesty. So just for today, I will examine the level of honesty in my life and see if I am comfortable with it.
Ooh,
Examine your honesty.
speaking of being honest, trust is like when you crumple up a piece of paper, brand new flashy piece of paper. It will never be the same piece of paper it was again.
That's true. That is the truth.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
It's so true.
All right. So the homework for Monday, it's work. It's a work day, you guys. Okay. We can't get lazy on our sobriety, even if we're out of jobs or whatever, and the crisis has us locked in. That doesn't mean we can be lazy. So it's the work day. It's the grind. It's the work week. We got homework to do. We're going to check our honesty. We're going to look within ourselves, check our honesty. We're going to grab a pen and paper. We're going to look through those 37 warning signs. If you are not part of the Facebook page, join it. If not, Google it. And then write down 5 and meditate on yourself for 30 minutes to an hour, however long you want. And let's make that our homework. Let's work harder on our recovery this week than we did last week. Let's work harder on our recovery tomorrow than we did today. You know what I mean? So that's our homework for the week. And let's answer some of these comments here. Fitness is an amazing tool. And so I know. I need to get back into fitness. My goodness. The only thing I've been doing is fitting this donut in my mouth.
I tried some fitness today. It's really hard, and then I took a nap.
You like that one?
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Goodness, don't it? No.
The not being as productive as when I was high is hard for me. I feel as though I am losing control of things and not being as good as I was. It means in means of organization and cleaning. Yeah, you're gonna have to relearn how to do all that. And you sent me a cool video today. We're gonna make sure that happens too. I just got to figure out how to play it with the audio, and then I don't have to mess with it. I can just play the video that you sent me. But that's what you got to do. You have to relearn how to do things, and you'll find that once you relearn how to do it, your brain rewires. You're back to healthy, normal mind. You do things better than when you were actually high. You weren't as good as you think you were when you were high. You know what I mean? Weaver family. Amen, Cassie. I fully embraced it the NA way this time. Good. I learned so much this time in treatment. I'm learning one day at a time. And that's all we got. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. And we have a saying that me and Linky like to say is if you live with one foot in the past and one foot in the future, you take a crap on today. So just for today, focus on the moment given to you, because you're not promised to wake up in the morning. You may not. And you only maybe have a couple hours till bedtime. Enjoy it and do the right thing with it. And when you wake up tomorrow, be grateful that you opened your eyes, because the chances, like Gary Vee says, the chances of becoming human are 1 in 400 trillion or something like that. Just the fact that you're a human and alive is amazing. And the fact that you were created and you're a designed being to think and function and be who you are, be grateful for that. And if you actually, I've been going through just like small grateful things. I wake up, wow, I took a breath. I threw covers off of me. I was warm all night. I walked into the bathroom and put warm water on my face. Wow, look at this, warm water. And my kids, there's food in the fridge. You know what I mean? There's a house over my head.
It's coffee.
Well, I mean, take the gratefulness down to the smallest. Yeah, he makes a lot of coffee.
He loves making his daddy coffee.
So since the accident, and when we finally got him home and he was kind of started getting his wits about him again, he started making me coffee. And I'll bet you for the last 2 years, 2.5 years, probably about 90% of that time, he's made me coffee every morning.
Sometimes he wants to at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, sometimes he wakes me up really early to do it. We thought we were. Yeah, because when I was on meth, I was like, man, I got so much done, but then I really didn't when I went back and looked at what I did. I overthought and over tinkered with things that could have just been done, and I could have moved on. Exactly, Cassie. That's me right there. I'll pound them. Y'all first ones. I'll let you see who I was when no one was looking. Awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
You're
Thank you.
awesome. Thanks for recovering with us, and thanks for being here, you guys.
We love you.
Getting out in the place. Yeah, I actually took some video because I was going to throw up our what we did today. We just went out and played catch for like a half hour with the football out here in the back.
It was hilarious.
Man alive, my shoulder hurts from that.
Yeah,
I can't
we're
believe
old.
it.
Well, you're old.
I'm old. Thank you, Veronica. Man in Black. Murd gave me a thumbs up for this shirt too. I had my money on Merc though. When I got this shirt the other day, I was like, yeah, Merc's gonna like this shirt. What's your guys' favorite band? I have one band I like, and it's Tool.
21 Pilots.
You like 21 Pilots?
Yeah.
I have like a billion bands that I love.
Yeah, the sun is good for you. Vitamin D. When I went and got my blood drawn, the doctor looked at my vitamin D levels, and he's like, "Oh my God, are you a vampire?" And I was like, "Why?" And I'm all pale and dark circles in my eyes.
When he was living in the basement, you were basically a vampire.
Yeah. Just like this morning, we had to get up at 4:00-ish or so. I got out of bed like, oh, it's Monday. Walked over to the coffee pot. Boom. He set the timer and everything. And there it was, hot. I was just, oh, thank God for like that. Saved me this morning. Murd, Cassie Murd says, donuts are absolute temptation. Yes, they are.
I think Satan made donuts.
They make you go nuts.
Hey, John, we enjoyed having you here. Leatherwood, that's a good name, too. I got a friend at work with that name. It's a strong name. There's not many people who have real names like Leatherwood or Weaver. What? It's true.
Lopez.
What does Lopez mean? Does it actually do anything?
Probably something about wolves or something.
Yeah.
We could eat your weaves right up.
Oh, please. We'll catch you in a Weaver's trap. And then we'll make leather because he beat you with that freaking
Like
stick.
some of the West Side, though. I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, Aaron, we're glad you were here too. I have so many favorite bands. There's only one band. There's only one. Tool.
I thought it was a
Yes. I knew Veronica liked Tool. I could feel it.
In your tool soul.
In my Tooligan soul. Awesome. Killing Jokes comes into mind as one of my favorite bands and others. Nice. Now I got a lot of bands too, but Tool is at the very, very, very tip top of my list. Breaking Benjamins by Fleetwood Mac. Nice.
And Fleetwood Mac.
And
I like
Fleetwood Mac.
Mac.
The Lost Dogs. What you guys like? You guys like Buckethead? I like Buckethead.
Where's Diana? She likes 311.
Diana, you like 311? All right. Who are we not?
God.
We are not God.
Who sees in the chart next every
Thank
morning?
goodness.
God,
God.
grant me the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Awesome show, guys. Thanks for coming. Remember, keep your thoughts and your prayers. Reach out to people on that Facebook page.
Selena's.
So what's that?
Somebody out there likes Selena.
Oh, is it? Do they play with tools sometimes?
She's dead.
Oh,
She
that's
was
okay
murdered.
then. All right, you guys. We do this every night, 8:00. We'll be back tomorrow night. Stay strong. Work your programs, and don't forget that we recover better together.